Hello everyone, Instructor Howdes here at UMA for another lesson for this week. Today we're going to discuss This is How We Do It, Discussion and Self-Reflections. I know you're used to discussions as you've taken it in your first course, but we're going to go into a deeper understanding of discussions and why they're important. We will hit on all of these objectives in the video. Your course objective being identifying strategies to maximize your UMA learning experience. Maximizing on your discussions and self-reflections, of course. We will discuss a UMA resource that can help you academically succeed. So we're going to discuss some resources that can help you with your discussion and self-reflections. Describe the importance of a positive support network. Well, during discussions, you can build that positive support network with your classmates and your instructor. Discussions. What? In a ground campus, the atmosphere looks way different than online, right? Instructors ask questions, students answer, and sometimes work in groups or have open discussions. However, on the online campus, it looks much different. Why are discussions so important? One, you're building connections. Your classmates are going through similar experiences, and this is the place to connect with them. Networking. Your classmates may be or may have worked in the field you're going into, and they can share tips and tricks on how to do it best. Your classmates can be supportive and encouraging, and so can you. You never know when someone's having a bad day what encouraging words can do for them. Discussions are there for you to answer instructors' questions about what you are learning from in each week. So the discussions connect to what you're learning and the material you learned about within the week. You get to see others' points of view in which you might not have thought of before. There's Puma working hard on its online class. More reasons discussions are key. This is a place where you can discuss what you learned throughout the week. You can answer questions the instructor has provided. Some discussions are scenario based, in which you can relate it to your own life. So a scenario is like a story, right? That you can connect to your life that you might be going through or something similar. Discussions are a large part of your grade, so it's important that you complete them and try to complete them on time. This can also be a confidence booster. Remember, it is a safe place for learning and a place to respect others' opinions, even if you don't agree. You can learn from one another by seeing different sides or different points of view that you might not ever think about. Okay, I can do this. Discussions are fun. This is a good practice for you to prepare for your future career, as you will be connecting, learning, and providing knowledge to others that you will work with in your professional field of study. Connecting what you are learning from the discussions is also important and impactful. The discussions relate back to what you're learning throughout the week in your reading and on your assignments. Great feedback from your classmates and your instructors. Okay, let's do it. Let's recap. How do we get to the discussion? Anybody know? Don't all raise your hand at once. First, find this in your course. There's week 1 discussion. After clicking on your course link in Blackboard, then next you will click on the week you are currently in, just on your left, right? It should show only week 1 if you're in week 1. Now you are here. There's a helpful tool at the bottom with the checklist, grading rubric, and discussion help. Make sure to read through all the instructions, 1 through 4. Student checklist. When facilitating this week's discussion forum, instructor will present one, they will ask questions and respond to students' discussion boards. This is the instructor's role when it comes to discussions. So this is where you'll see your instructor participating. They connect with you and your peers and encourage respectful interaction. They grade your discussion posts according to the grading rubric. They help you with ideas or questions about your initial discussion post and reply posts. Over here is the student checklist. Remember, Wednesday night at 11:59, your initial post is due. Sometimes life happens, but you'll probably get a few points taken off if you miss that 11:59. However, you can still turn it in later if you miss the deadline. Read the discussion background. Read all 3 parts of the initial prompt. There's 3 parts, don't forget. Plan your response using the discussion background. Create a new thread and answer all 3 parts. Cite your sources if you borrow ideas or words from other people. That is highly important. Before you submit your post, check your grammar, spelling, punctuation, and citations. So a great way to do this is to type out your post in Microsoft Word and then copy and paste it over, because it has spell check and it can check if you have any mistakes. Next part, review before Sunday at 11:59. Aim to complete this first reply by Thursday. So you have to do 2 replies, right? Review discussion forum posts and select one that interests you the most. Plan your replies using course room material. Write your reply. Make sure to cite if you use anybody else's material. Before you submit your post, also check your spelling and punctuation or citations. Remember, you need 2 reply posts before Sunday at 11:59 on 2 separate days. Not just your initial day, 2 separate days along with your initial. The next part is your other reply. They're giving examples to aim for Thursday and aim for Saturday night. But whatever fits your schedule, that's what will help you. Just make sure it's on 2 separate days. In the instructor's role, instructors are the leaders when it comes to discussions. Always, always, always reach out if you need help or just want to make sure that you're doing things correctly. You can text, call, or email your instructor. Their information is found under the Faculty Availability tab in your classroom. I also tell students to make sure to save those phone numbers in your phone in case of emergency in which you can't get online to find the phone numbers. As you see, there's the instructor's role again. Facilitating this week's forum, your instructor will be present to ask questions and respond to students' discussion threads, connect with you, your peers, and encourage respectful interaction, grade your discussions, post according to the graphic rubric, and help you with ideas or questions on your initial discussion post. Here is the guideline. This is the rubric. This is what instructors use to grade and what students should use to help them be successful. But don't worry, I know it looks big. We're going to break it down for you. All right, first, quality responsiveness to the initial post. So to get full credit, all discussion background to create, applied discussion background to create a new thread that answers the initial prompt completely. So you have to answer all 3 questions, okay? Fully answer all 3 questions. Generates further academic conversation. So yes, I agree, is not a generate, okay? You want to apply your personal experience, like I've heard that before, it's familiar, and then you want to add your own knowledge that you gain from that experience, or share knowledge that you learned about during the week. Gain from the course room materials, or to introduce new ideas that continue the academic conversation. So you want to continue bringing information and knowledge to the other student. So yes, I agree, you have great hair. Probably not going to get a generates because you're not generating any academic. You're just saying, I like your hair. I agree. Organization and clarity of writing. So remember I told you to practice by using it, by typing up your discussion in Microsoft Word. There's also Grammarly.com. And we also offer the Writing Center at Ultimate Medical Academy, where you can send your work in and have someone review it. But this is important because in your future career, you will need to write appropriately. Because if you are a professional, you want to make sure that your spelling and grammar looks well, because that kind of gives you a reputation. And you want to be trusted and respected. So writing is organized and can be clearly understood by others. So make sure to read out your discussion post out loud to make sure it makes sense. Quantity of contributions. Okay, so we talked about the initial post being on Wednesday night at 11:59 p.m. and 2 additional posts on 2 separate days. So altogether you need 3 posts, the initial and 2 replies. However, if you feel that you found a bunch of people that you want to talk to and build connections, please, 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 I encourage you to reply to as many people as you want to. But to get full credit, you have to have 2 replies on 2 separate days and your initial post. Timeliness. I know life happens, things get in the way. However, timeliness is important. So to get full credit, you will need to post your initial post by 11:59 on Wednesday of that week. 2 separate posts, replies on 2 separate days. So 3 days total during the live week you will need to post. However, I do encourage, if you run into some trouble and on Sunday you didn't post 2 different days, continue to post. Continue to make replies, even not in the live week. Because you want to build connections with your classmates and you also want to continue the conversations. So even if you're behind or late, please still continue to reply and do your initial post for credit. But really work on the timeliness. If you get stuck on creating replies and you're like, I don't know what to write, I don't know what to put, here are some resources that can help. So if you go to create your thread, at the bottom it says reply to your classmates and it says need help with creating replies. Make sure to press on the need help with creating replies. Then it says return your discussion threads. Ask and answer questions. Need help generating interesting questions? So if you click on the interesting questions, you'll get this over here. And it gives you questions you can ask your classmates to help further the conversation and continually build on the academic that you're learning throughout the week. I hope this helps. Your instructor will grade based on the rubric. So it's really important that you use the rubric that we went over together. Also, make sure to use the checklist to keep you organized and to keep time management. Have fun and be respectful, and you will do great. One thing I always tell my students, but you don't have to do it this way, is to possibly do one class one night and the other class the other night so you don't get confused. I hope that helps. Okay, now on, in this class, we do something a little special. Student Success has a unique assignment called a self-reflection. Self-reflections are a way of thinking back on what you learned over the past week and how you can use it. It can also help you become aware of materials that you might need further assistance with. As you see, she's reflecting and looking in the mirror at herself. Do you guys ever do that? Especially before you go out of the house, right? Self-reflections are so helpful. Self-reflections are not just to help you become aware of what you learned, but also can help your instructor to see where you are. The self-reflection shows the instructor where you are in learning the material and provides a view of how the instructor can further assist you in the learning process. I want you to think for a moment. Have you ever just sat back and reflected on your day? on what you did, what you completed, what you learned, what you're going to do better for tomorrow, or what you have to do tomorrow that you didn't get done today, or how proud you are on all the accomplishments that you completed? That would be like a self reflection, right? You're reflecting back on what you've learned and how you can be better for the future, or on something that you might need to learn more about. Take a look at what I'm learning. Self reflections can also be a recap of what you learned from the week. If you went over the material earlier in the week, you can scan over it to remind yourself so that you can reflect back on what you read and what you're working on. I like to reflect at the end of the day. This helps me to see what I could do better on or what I can do again tomorrow to be successful. Reflecting is so important. It is in life, it is how you learn and grow. This assignment can help you continue to grow and gain the knowledge this course is providing you. It is also preparing you for your future career. Now that you know what a self reflection is and why it's important, let's practice. Okay, so once you click in your classroom, okay, and you go to the left hand side where it says week 1, you're going to click on week 1 and you will see the self reflection assignment. Keep this week's course objectives in mind as you reflect on how well you understood and applied the weekly material. Okay, this is how reflections work. So in each week, they're going to have a level of 1, 2, 3, or 4. 4 meaning that you can teach another student about what you learned over the week. 3 meaning that you're on target and you understood everything, but you don't maybe want to teach someone else. 2 meaning I get some things, but I might need some help. And 1 meaning I need to reach out, I need help, I don't understand this. One of the first questions on all reflections, you will choose a number that you feel most comfortable rating yourself at on how well you know the material for the week. So when you go in, you're going to push begin on the assignment, and it's going to give you 2 boxes. In the first box, all you have to put is the number that you chose to rate yourself at. So that's it, just a number. Then on the second part, okay, the second part of the next question is going to be a box. And on the second part of the reflection, make sure to use examples and descriptions of what you learned from the week or what concepts you need more help with. Also, make sure to use correct grammar and spelling. You can use grammarly.com or type it in Microsoft Word and then copy and paste it over. But make sure that you put examples and descriptions connecting to the material you learned through the week. Because we want to see what you learned or what you might be having trouble with. An example. In this video, you learned about discussions, why they are important, how to use them to your advantage, how to use the checklist and the rubric, self-reflections definition, and how to do them correctly and why we use them. So let's rate your learning, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So 1, I need to ask for help, I'm not understanding. 2, almost there, understood some. 3, on target. Or 4, I could go above and beyond by teaching others. Which number do you rate yourself at on this video? Take a minute. Now that you've rated yourself, explain why. So an example would be, I rate myself as a 4. I can teach you all about this video and can help you better understand how to complete your discussions and reflections. So look, in my explanation, I put why I chose a 4. I connected it to the video, which the video is about discussions and reflections, right? So remember, when you're doing discussion or when you're doing reflections, make sure to rate yourself in the first part and explain using examples on the second part. It is worth 8 points at the bottom. 2 points for the rating and 8 points for the explanation. So make sure your explanation is clear and understanding. Discussion and self-reflections rock. Always reach out to academic services or your instructor for additional assistance. You got this, and I cannot wait to hear about your success in student success. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great day, and thanks for choosing UMA.